This is the 1966 F100 4x4 F11 VIN 5600 pound GVW that I've added the 2.7 Ecoboost, and of course it kept it a four-wheel drive. I'm keeping all emissions intact, including the carbon canister lines, everything, so it'll be as installed in an F-150. I've had it running now, and I'm just getting on to the point where a radiator, condenser, fans, hoses, belt, radiator overflow. I've modified the core support to fit all their new F-150 components, including the transmission, the extra duty transmission cooler, lines, hoses. I'll be using the AC from the F-150. I do have an upgraded aluminum intercooler on it. And now I'm going to build the wiring harness for it, just to keep what I want to keep. So I just had it laid out on the table here to get, everything fitted and in place. The cab will be raised 1 inch above a stock, and it just makes it much easier to fit things. And being a four-wheel drive, it's not going to hurt. I do have a 1.5 inch taller spring. I've adapted the late model F-150 disc brakes to the Dana 44 rear end. The Dana 44 will have a locking front diff. And I've got the sport wheels that I've modified to fit the Dana 44 hubs and the late model F-150 14-inch brakes. So I'll maintain, of course, the stock battery junction box, the PCM. And here's the body control module, the transfer case control module. I've already tested it, and the transfer case shifts, into 4 high, 4 low, back to two-wheel drive. And just some modifications testing. Huge mess right now. Absolute maze of wiring. I'll be using the column, of course. I'll have electric power steering on it also. And then I'm going to keep the feature of, the box that controls the yaw of the vehicle. It also shows the anything I want to see. The cluster is from a limited F-150 Limited of the same year. I have it to work. So it'll have, cruise control and satellite radio, and hoping to use the HVAC from the new truck. I've also managed to get the fuel tank to fit out of the donor. It's a one thing says 26 gallon, the other says 24. I've also fitted F-150 exhaust using the F-150 hangers. You can see I have all the grounds and such on. I'll be using the entire wiring harness from the F-150. So there'll be no wiring from the 66. And it'll have, the trailer sway and everything will be on there. And I'll have the Class 5 hitch with all the plugins and such from the F-150. I've modified the hitch, the F-150 hitch, to fit the frame. And I'll also maintain the locking, electronic locking diff from the F-150. I've used the shock mounts, the springs, everything as installed in an F-150. Same thing with the rear. The wheels didn't need to be modified for the rear to fit. They are hub centric. And I'll also maintain the electronic park brake. So I have pretty much everything working in this chassis. So now it's time to tear it apart and get it powder coated. I'm also hoping to, if I can figure out a way to make a reluctor wheel work, I'll also keep the four-wheel ABS from the F-150 with the ABS pump and such. Here's a look at the cluster. So I'll maintain the pretty much all the electronics with the adjustable pedals. I've already tested, of course, I've tested the switch for the four-wheel drive. It works. The locking diff works. I have a different airbag for it that I have laying around. I'll mount this column into the truck. I even have cats. I had to cut the pipes apart. In a four-wheel drive shaft and a rear drive shaft I need to install yet, but it's kind of basically everything's fitted in there. Of course, I won't need the vacuum supply for the hubs because these are a manual hub. So now it's time to cut the wiring all apart and make my own harness for exactly what I want to do on it. Just a quick update. The cab for it is here. The box is outside. All the sheet metal I have is really nice, and I'll metal finish it. Checking out the electronics. Going to shift it into four-wheel drive here. 4x4 shift in progress. Okay. Slow to 3 miles an hour. Okay, it's in four-wheel drive. In two-wheel drive, that works. Make sure everything we got here. My view screens, okay for options. Okay. Truck info screens. Tire pressure, yes. Digital speedometer, yes. Engine information, yes. My key status, yes. Go over here to towing screens, off-road screens. Off-road power distribution, yes. Oh, add another one, okay.